People think Spartans are heroes, humanity's greatest warriors. The soldiers who always arrive when everything seems lost. But that's not the whole story. Because behind every Spartan legend, there is a cost nobody wants to talk about. Because every Spartan was once a child. And this story doesn't begin on a battlefield. It begins with a 6-year-old boy. You are 6 years old. Your biggest concern is what game you'll play tomorrow. You have a family, friends, a home, a future. You think it will always be that way? You're wrong. One night, strangers arrive. By morning, your old life is over. You never see your parents again. You never get to say goodbye. Nobody asks what you want. Nobody cares. You are taken from your home and transported across space to a secret military facility. When you arrive, you're not alone. There are dozens of other children. Some are crying, some are angry, some are completely silent. All of them are wondering the same thing. Why are we here? Then a woman enters the room. Dr. Halsey. She tells you that you've been chosen, that you're special, that one day you'll help save humanity. But you're 6 years old. You don't care about humanity. You just want to go home. But home is gone. The next morning, the training begins, and it doesn't stop. Every day starts before sunrise. Running, obstacle courses, combat drills, weapons training, military discipline. You are pushed harder than any child should ever be pushed. Mistakes are punished. Weakness is punished. Failure is punished. You learn very quickly that nobody is coming to help you. The instructors don't care if you're exhausted. They don't care if you're scared. They only care about results. Some children refuse to obey. That doesn't last long. Others try to escape. That ends even worse. Years pass. Slowly, the children around you become your new family. You train together, eat together, laugh together, suffer together. For a while, you almost forget that your old life ever existed. Then the injuries begin. Broken arms, broken legs, concussions, training accidents, children disappearing from class. At first, you ask where they went. Eventually, you stop asking because nobody ever comes back. The program keeps moving forward, no matter the cost, no matter who gets left behind. By the age of 14, you've become stronger, faster, and deadlier than most adults. Then you're told the truth. Training was only the beginning. Now comes the real test. The augmentations. The doctors finally explain the risks, which would be comforting if the explanation wasn't mostly about how many people are going to die. Some candidates will be crippled forever. Some will never walk again. Some will never fight again. The good news? You've survived every test they've thrown at you so far. The bad news? This time survival isn't entirely up to you, so you enter the operating room anyway. Not because you're brave, because nobody gave you another option. Hours later, you wake up, barely. Every breath hurts. Every movement feels wrong. It feels like somebody took your body apart and put it back together incorrectly. Then you look around the room, and that's when you notice the empty beds. Some of your friends are gone, dead, others survived. Technically, some can no longer walk, some can barely move. Years of sacrifice, years of training. Ended on an operating table. No battlefield, no heroic last stand, no glory. Just a cold room and terrible luck. For the first time in your life, you wonder if surviving was actually the lucky outcome, but somehow, you did survive. And that changes everything. You are now stronger than almost any human alive. Faster, smarter, more dangerous, which sounds great. And it is, for about 5 minutes. Soon you're given armor, the most advanced armor humanity has ever created. The moment you put it on, you feel unstoppable, like a walking tank, like a weapon. Which is fortunate, because humanity is about to need one. Then the Covenant arrives. Entire colonies disappear. Cities burn. And suddenly, All those years of training don't seem excessive anymore. Every mission becomes a desperate attempt to buy humanity one more day. You fight enemies larger than you, stronger than you, and unfortunately there are a lot of them. You win battles. But somehow, the war keeps getting worse. You save one world. 3 more fall, then the losses begin. Real losses. One Spartan doesn't return from a mission, then another, then another. After a while, you stop asking where they are, because you already know the answer. The people you've known since childhood begin disappearing. Some are killed in battle, some are listed as missing. Some simply vanish into the chaos of war. Sometimes there isn't even a body to recover, just an empty seat on the dropship. Another voice you'll never hear again. Another name crossed off a list, and the war keeps moving. It doesn't care who's missing. Mission after mission. Year after year. Funerals without bodies. Memorials without answers. Victories that don't feel like victories anymore. And somehow, you become a legend. To civilians, Spartans are heroes. Walking miracles. Symbols of hope. The people who arrive when everything seems lost. Conveniently, nobody asks how those heroes were made. They don't see the children taken from their families. They don't see the years of training, the exhaustion, the fear. They don't see the surgeries, the deaths, the empty beds, or the friends who never came back. One day, you catch your reflection and barely recognize yourself. Humanity survived because of Spartans. That's the part everyone remembers. What they forget is what it cost. You became the perfect soldier by losing yourself.